TAQ Capital. Technical analysis quickly.
This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Before taking any action based on the information provided on this channel, it is recommended that you seek the advice of a professional licensed financial advisor.
Let's do this.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. And we're going to dive right into Atom to see what exactly happened on my prediction from yesterday. So if I zoom out a bit here, let me actually go to the 15-minute chart. Right up here, we peaked. If I'm getting that right, let me back up for a second. Yeah, right up there we peaked. And we started down this yellow wedge. And this is when I was talking about jumping into a short. We came down, created our second point here, came up, created our third point here. And I'm working on coming down to the fourth point. Now, some could argue that that's the fourth point. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're working our way back up, failed. I'm going to work our way back up again and then break out. Is that possible? Yes, it is. But here's why I don't think that's the case. If we jump over to the daily chart, we can see our Kijun and Tenkin here. Okay? If we jump down to the 12-hour chart, we can see them like this too. And the 12-hour is just starting to poke up. The 16-hour I don't think has done that yet. Yeah, so they're still running pretty much parallel. So what this means is that the next most likely stop is the Tenkin on the daily or the Kijun. It might even blow through the Tenkin, hit the Kijun, and kind of bounce back a little bit. I'm expecting for there to be a brief reversal when we hit either the Tenkin or the Kijun on the daily. But I think it will go through the Tenkin and hit the Kijun. So this would be a good sell spot to ride it up a bit before we come back down again. And I'll show you that more on the 30-minute chart. So on the 30-minute chart, I've been watching this as it unfolds. And you can see that when we came down here, we kind of then created this orange wedge where we hit 1, 2, 3, 4, came down, breakout, and then touched the yellow wedge, which gave us our second spot here. Or what was that? 1, 2, 3, fourth spot, if you want to count that as a fourth spot. And then we shot straight up. Now this was, to me, more of a anticipation of Jerome Powell speaking about the Fed. And people were hyping up that Bitcoin was going to have, a bit of a rally, buy the rumor, sell the news sort of a thing. So I think that this shot up right here is actually not really about the charts at all. I think this was just psychology. It went up and now it's going to come back down. Well, sorry, it did come back down. Now it's gonna. So then we did not hit the yellow again down here, so that one still holds. So the question is, where do we go from here? And because I've got this labeled as the 6 to the 20-hour Kijun, and then there's the 3-day Kijun here, I think this is where we're headed. So if you drop this down to there, and you drop the white one, let's see. Well, you might have to back up a bit because it can't hit that line there. I actually think this might be too much of a free fall for it to go from here to there. So now this might actually end the white wedge and the yellow wedge. We might actually come back up before we come back down. Let me look at a few more things here. If we take the first hit being the last hit off the orange. So in this orange wedge, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breakout down here. If we take this hit here as our first hit on a new wedge, we actually created this wedge here, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we broke out here. So the question is, do we have a new wedge or should we just adjust the white wedge? I think we should adjust the white wedge because even if this white wedge is true and it played out perfectly, But if you move this up now, this wedge still has to be true. So you still have to have 1, 2, 3, and now you're going to have a fourth down here. So that fourth down here is not this one. That's why that works out. So if this comes down here, hits our, like a fourth one around here or even down here, then that will complete the white, and the white will go up for a breakout. The yellow will be a breakout, which would then have us completing this purple wedge here. It would have us completing the yellow wedge. It would have us completing the white wedge. And of course, these orange wedges that are in the middle here would also be done. So then we would be starting a new wedge. Now, keep in mind, if I zoom out further, we're still very much in this yellow wedge that we've been in for quite some time. And within that is a red wedge. So we're working on coming down right now from here down to break the yellow wedge, and then break the red wedge and come out. And when we get down to this point here, that's when I was talking about having the, was it 26% run? And I still think that's very much playing out. But I think temporarily, we're going to possibly come down to this area and shoot up and end those, and then come over and do something like that. So back to the 3-minute chart. So this was that giant spike, which I'm, presumably is from the whole Powell speech, and then it quickly corrected 2, 3, 4, and now we're working our way up, I think, to do a breakout to end the purple before we flop down some more to complete the yellow and the white. So if you're watching this and you're in a short still and you're seeing this action go up, it's this purple wedge that's been created that is that correction that you're seeing play out right now. We also have this white wedge that runs like that and here. And if we come down and cross at the Kijun before we get a little bounce here, this price is what would give us the end of the white wedge as well. So what could happen is we might actually wick through the white here, clip the 6 to 20 hour Kijun, ride this up a bit before we break down, and that'll be that bounce that I'm talking about, and hit the 3-day Tenkin on our way down to the 3-day Kijun, which is right here. And this would complete that 26% that I was talking about. So that's what I see playing out for now. If I turn the Ichimoku cloud back on and I jump to the 6 hour real quick, you can see here that this line was established there, fell short here, was rejected here. We blew through it here, but now we've just come below it. So look for this white dotted line when I switch to the 3-minute. It's right here. And you can see that we shot past it, came back below it, came back above it, and now we found support on it. And I think from here, it's going to be up, over, and out. And then the purple's done, orange is done, and we're going to work to close out the white dotted, the yellow dashed, and the white dashed, all approximately here. If I bring the Bollinger Bands back on the 3-minute, you can see too that we were outside of them here, which generally means we're going to do a reset and come out of the Bollinger Bands on the upside here. Now it may not be right here. We might continue to go up and then break out, of them somewhere around here, similarly to how we did back here. And then we begin our descent back down to pop out of the lower Bollinger Bands somewhere over here. So it all lines up. It all looks pretty good, and that's what I would consider the play to be. But instead of dragging this video out and looking for more and more, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. I hope you all have a great day out there.